So another week went by, and a lot of the European tables has switched up quite a bit. There was a lot of big matches throughout this week between big clubs that had some great endings and kept us entertained at the edge of our seats, most importantly. Guys, I'm at Parcero Philly, uniting all through sports and culture here in the beautiful city of Philadelphia. And today, guys, we are going to talk about everything that went down in the world of world soccer. But sit back and hang tight because that's all coming up next. Let's get this, guys. Yeah. Another week and a bunch of soccer I watched throughout all the major leagues in Europe. And of course, guys, we're going to discuss the 5 things that caught my eye. And we'll start it off, guys, because first off, we have to talk about Champions League. We went through another round of Champions League matches, and there were some pretty good matches, and some matches you really didn't expect to be pretty good, but were pretty damn good. All right, well, let's just dive into the groups real quick. And in Group A, nothing has changed here yet, as PSG is still the leader of this group, and there is nothing that is going to stop this team at all. They would be a Club Brugge team that would not take advantage of their opportunity, and Mauro Icardi would put the lone goal for PSG, and they would walk away from this match winning it 1-0. But although PSG is running away with this group, Real Madrid trying to make their case this week as well, as they beat up on Galatasaray 6-0. I repeat, 6-0. Now, the main critique that we have critiqued Real Madrid over the last year and a half is that the fact that they haven't been able to replace Cristiano Ronaldo's production in the attack. And they may have found someone who won't put up Cristiano Ronaldo numbers, but we have to discuss Rodrigo, who put up a hat-trick, his first hat-trick in Champions League at 18 years old. The young Brazilian went off on Galatasaray, and it started off bright and early. My man looked comfortable and confident playing as that right winger for Real Madrid. And kudos to Zinedine Zidane and putting some trust into Rodrigo and starting him. Man got the hat-trick. Karim Benzema added 2 goals as well, and Sergio Ramos would add a PK goal. And Real Madrid, although won't win this group, looks like, we will discuss them a little bit more a little later, but looks like they're starting to figure it out slowly but surely. Alright, in Group B, we all know Bayern Munchen is going to take care of business in this group, and they would win their first game under new manager Hans-Dieter Flick. Unfortunately for Olympiacos, they have to travel to Munchen, a place that is not easy to win, especially a club as talented as Bayern Munchen. Robert Lewandowski and Ivan Perisic, who came off the bench, would put the goals in for Bayern Munchen, and they would win their game 2-0. But the real question in this group would be, who would finish in second place? And that matchup would come down between Tottenham Hotspurs of England and Red Star Belgrade of Serbia. And I told you, the winner of this game would more than likely finish second, move on to the next round. And Tottenham Hotspur, despite not playing the best football that we know they can play, still put up 4 goals and would in Belgrade, which I've talked about before. It is not easy to play there, guys. Those ultras are ultra nuts, and it's not an easy environment to win in. And Tottenham put up 4 goals on them. Is this the result that gets Tottenham rolling? We will find out. But they would win 4-0. We gotta give a shout out to Heung-min Son. His first goal, his celebration was definitely something I'm curious about. So obviously, as we all know, Son was the culprit of Andres Gomez's nasty injury from 2 weeks ago in that Tottenham-Everton matchup in the Premier League. And he felt so remorseful towards the injury of Andre Gomez. And I think that in this Red Star Belgrade match, I think in that goal, he wanted to send his best wishes to Andre Gomez. That's just my guess there. But let me know in the comments below what you thought Heung-min Son was doing there. All right, Group C, the group that I was so disappointed with, because as we all know, Atalanta have not shown up in this Champions League. But maybe, just maybe, they finally have. Manchester City would travel to Italy to face off against Atalanta in the freaking San Siro. We already talked about that. But Man City jumped on Atalanta quick and put up the first goal in this game. But Atalanta became the cardiac boys from Bergamo yet again. They fought and fought and fought and were able to get a goal in this game. And that's all they would need to tie this game up. In the second half, Pastorlich was able to get the game-tying goal to knot this game up 1-1. And then later in that second half, Claudio Bravo, the backup goalkeeper for Manchester City, would receive a red card for a very dumb slide tackle, I might say. And that would give him a red that would send him off, leaving Man City without any goalkeepers. Ederson was out for this game, and that left Kyle Walker, a fullback, to play in net for the last 7 minutes. It was actually pretty funny seeing Kyle Walker play back there as the goalkeeper. But Atalanta could not take advantage of that, but still walked away with a point, their first point in Champions League. So that's something you could definitely build upon. But I definitely don't think Atalanta will move on to the next round because, guys, the other game in Group C was probably the best game we saw in Champions League. As we saw Shakhtar Donetsk face off against Dinamo Zagreb. Both teams are tied in second place in that group, and the winner of this game more than likely would move on to the next round as the second place winners in Group C. This game started off not so hot. For most of this game, the score would be 1-1. It was a lot of back and forth. Both these teams matched up very well against each other. But then both teams would go down to 10 guys as both teams got red cards, making this game even more interesting. But then in that moment, Dinamo Zagreb was able to put up 2 goals in 10 minutes on Shakhtar Donetsk to give them the 3-1 lead. And at that point, everyone thought Zagreb had this locked up. They were going to win this game. Donetsk had other plans in mind. With 8 minutes of stoppage time, Shakhtar Donetsk was able to put up 2 goals. It first started in the 93rd minute when Donetsk got a desperation goal that would cut the deficit by 1 goal. And then in the 98th minute, with Donetsk rewarded a penalty kick, they put the game on the shoulders of a 19-year-old Brazilian by the name of Tite, and he would knock in the game time goal to put Donetsk knotted up with Zagreb 3-3. And that would end the game. A game that started off not so exciting. It ended in the best way possible, probably the best game of the Champions League week. This is what you want to see. You want to see goals come at the end of the game. In 18 minutes, we saw 4 goals by 2 teams that we didn't expect to do. Now, unfortunately, these 2 are still tied in second place, but goddamn, they gave us a good game. We will see what happens. Atalanta still have to face off against both those teams. Anything could happen. All right, let's move on to Group D, and there was an upset in this group here as Bayern Leverkusen at home with their fans behind them hosted Atletico Madrid, one of the big guys of La Liga. Everyone thought that Atletico Madrid had this game in the bag, but Bayer Leverkusen had other plans in mind. To be quite frank with you guys, this wasn't Atletico Madrid's game. It started off in the worst way possible as Thomas Partey had an uncharacteristic play as Bayer Leverkusen had a corner kick and Thomas Partey was trying to clear the ball out, but unfortunately it would fall in the back of Atletico's net, giving him an own goal and putting Leverkusen up 1-0. And after that, it really didn't feel like Atletico's night. Bayer Leverkusen's Kellen Vollen would destroy Atletico's center back Felipe and would put the ball in the back of the net to put them up 2-0. Alvaro Morata would save them in the second half by cutting the deficit by 1 goal, but Atletico didn't have enough to put another goal in net and would lose this game, dropping points against Bayer Leverkusen. A lot of scrutiny has been put on this Diego Simeone Atletico team. They don't seem like the same attacking force like a typical Cholo Simeone team looks like. But guys, there's a lot of turnover on this team. A lot of new faces and a lot of guys have to get used to playing with each other. Still pretty early, and I still have faith in Diego Simeone will turn this attack around. But definitely losing to Bayer Leverkusen is unacceptable for the standards of Atletico Madrid. Juventus would go through a little bit of a scare against Lokomotiv Moscow as they gave them a game. Juve will go up early on a goalie mishap by Lokomotiv Moscow's goalie, would drop a Cristiano Ronaldo free kick, which Aaron Ramsey would bury in the back of the net. And Aaron Ramsey, you do not have to apologize to Cristiano Ronaldo. The most important thing on the pitch is winning the damn game. You need that goal to win. Cristiano Ronaldo does not need to pad his stash. You're good, Ramsey. But Moscow was not scared of Juve and were relentless throughout this game and would get the game-tying goal not too long after that first goal by Juve. It would be 1-1 for most of this match. And then came Douglas Costa, a player that I am not too fond of, but the man is freaking talented. And he would come in the match and with one play would take the ball and destroy the Lokomotiv Moscow defense and put the ball in the back of the net to give Juve the game-winning goal, and they would win this game 2-1. Juve now are up top of this Group D, and now with Atleti losing to Bayer Leverkusen, they have lost leverage on Juve. Atleti should be okay. They need to take care of business in these last 2 matches, but I definitely still think they will move on to the next round. Definitely something we should all keep our eyes out for. Alright, let's move on to the next group, and that is Group E, the group that you guys all know I have been keeping my eyes out for. And last week we discussed Napoli on the 5 things that were on my mind, and specifically Carlo Ancelotti and whether or not he's lost his team. Well, They went into this game at home against RB Salzburg, who we know they've had their number, although Salzburg definitely want to get back at Napoli, as they definitely have been trying everything they can to beat them. Napoli are coming off a string of bad matches, and in this game, I really did not see much difference at all, and it's really concerning, really worrisome, the performance of Napoli. This game would not start off in the way that Napoli would want, as Proud Colombian would give RB Salzburg a penalty kick early in the game, and Salzburg's Haaland, who has been tearing up Europe this season, put the PK away, silencing our crowd. Now, who the hell comes into the Estadio San Paulo and silences the Partenope? Something has to change, guys. Chucky Lozano would save the day later in that match by getting the game time goal, and he was one of the bright spots of this Napoli team thus far this season. He's improving match in and match out. He got another goal against Salzburg that would save a point for us. This is the first game we wouldn't get 3 points out of in Champions League, which is good, but the performance of Napoli over the last 2 to 3 weeks, quite frankly, has been uninspiring and, quite frankly, has been worrisome. Now, Liverpool did take care of business in this group as well, as they beat Genk 2-1. Alex Chamberlain playing as the false 9. Definitely something weird, and I've never seen him play as a forward in general. But it would still work. The high press was working on Genk all match long. Although Genk did give Liverpool a little bit of a scare, as Samata would get a set-piece goal on Liverpool. Liverpool would take care of business in this game. Liverpool took first place for now, but Napoli are still safe for moving on to the next round. But we will discuss them in a second. Things need to change with Napoli. Group of death, guys, and Barcelona looked like they were running away with this group, but then came Slavia Prague. And Slavia Prague gave everything Barcelona can handle, and they have exploited weaknesses that have been noticeable with this Barcelona team throughout this season. Without Lionel Messi, this Barcelona team, quite frankly, is not as strong. Despite the opportunities Barcelona had, they still could not get a goal. Prague gave everything Barcelona can handle. Barcelona would wind up drawing this match 0-0. Saying about Verdi's seat is getting warm. You're Barcelona and you got the best player in the world. You gotta score goals. You can't just be relying on Lionel Messi match in and match out to save the day. Things has got to change in Barcelona. And then there was the other match, Dortmund versus Inter. This was honestly the match everyone was looking forward to, and it was as advertised. Inter went up early in this match, going up 2-0 in the first half, and everyone thought at that point it was over. They thought that Inter won this game, but Hakimi and Borussia Dortmund had other plans in mind. Hakimi was on fire and got 2 goals in this game. Julian Brandt would add on another one, but Borussia Dortmund, after down 2-0, came back and would win this game 3-2. And this game was absolutely exciting. And we have to highlight Lautaro Martinez, because he actually played excellent in this game. He showed off his talent, but unfortunately, Inter just dropped the ball, and Borussia Dortmund took advantage of them. And it's not easy playing Dortmund in Dortmund. But when you're up 2-0, you gotta finish that game out. Looks like for Inter, they should just focus on the Scudetti, because Champions League, I think it's over with this tough-ass group. Alright, Group G has been an absolute surprise in my eyes, and it's been painful to watch as well. That energy drink team from Leipzig have taken over this group. Honestly, I mean, it might have just been me hating on this team, but I just did not see them being the team that would win this group. To be quite frank with you guys, this team is pretty talented. They went into Zenit, went into Russia, where it's not easy to play, and they took control of that game from the jump. From the moment the ref blew the whistle, they were fast, they were furious, they were getting after in the high press, and they were up early and would never look back. Zenit had no answer for this team. And for Zenit, where the fuck is Malcolm? This guy was supposed to be back at the end of October. We are now getting to the middle of November. My man is nowhere to be found. Could it be the racist chants that the Zenit fans have been throwing at him? Possibly. But we all know Malcolm is a little soft as a player. Leipzig would win this match 2-0, and they won it. It's their group to lose. Lyon would take advantage of a young Benfica squad. Benfica from this jump did not have a chance against Lyon. Lyon were on point in this match. And they would win that game 3-1, and they look like the favorites to finish in second place and move on to the next round. Now let's move on to the last group, and this group is absolutely been fun to watch thus far. You got 4 young squads who play exciting brands of football, and that is Group H. Let's start off with Valencia and Lille, as Lille went up early on Valencia at the Mestalla, caught Valencia off guard, but then Valencia turned it on. In the second half, they would erupt for 3 goals, with the final score being 4-1, giving them the 3 points that they very well needed, because in the other game was Ajax versus Chelsea, the other 2 teams who are vying for the 2 top spots in this group. And Chelsea versus Ajax was exciting as hell to watch. We saw Ajax go up early on Chelsea 3-1, and Chelsea would come back and tie this game 4-4. And you saw all the youngsters on both sides of each squad turn up. And now, guys, there's a 3-way tie for first place with Chelsea, Ajax, and Valencia all having 7 points. We won't have Champions League till the end of this month, but damn, yo, we've been blessed with some good games thus far in Champions League. This week again, honestly, it's Liverpool's Champions League to lose. They, to me, are the favorites thus far. They are the best team in the world, to be quite frank with you guys. You know, Bayern Munchen, I definitely want to see what they can do more with this manager, because they've been playing better since Kovac has left. Another dark horse to keep an eye out for is PSG, guys. They have a deep group of attackers on this team, whether it be Kylian Mbappe, Neymar, Cavani, Angel Di Maria, Mauro Icardi. Like, this team is deep at the forward position. They're going to need that going forward in the knockout round. PSG is definitely my dark horse right now. I know we say this every year, but they could be dangerous, guys. So keep an eye out for them. Also have to mention that PSG do have Keylor Navas this season, a proven Champions League winner with Real Madrid, and you definitely know he is driven and he is motivated after being exiled from Real Madrid. He will definitely be a factor for this PSG club. But speaking of Bayern Munchen, they are the second thing that caught my eye this week. We saw the Der Klassiker, Bayern Munchen versus Borussia Dortmund. The class of Bundesliga face off in Allianz Stadium in Munchen. And for Dortmund, we all know the monkey on their back, not being able to win in Munchen, but also getting destroyed by Bayern Munchen in Munchen has been something that has been happening for the past couple seasons. And this was the time for them to get the monkey off their back. Get the win here. Show Bayern who owns Bundesliga. En route to winning the Bundesliga. It wasn't the case. Bayern right off the bat would dominate Borussia Dortmund with a quick counterattack. And Robert Lewandowski, man, my man ages like fine wine. He picked apart that Borussia Dortmund back line. And Mats Hummels, I don't know if my man is old or my man is just going through a slide right now, but he looked bad in both the Inter match and as well as the Munchen match. Favre has got to keep this in mind because he has not looked good. But off the bat, Dortmund just looked like the lesser team against Munchen. Jadon Sancho had to get subbed out because he looked that bad. When the Bayern Munchen fullbacks linger up closer to the Borussia Dortmund wingers, that was killing Jadon Sancho. He would get subbed out before the first half even ended. It was bad. The match would end 4-0, leaving Dortmund with another black eye. And this was Dortmund's year. They were so close last year winning Bundesliga. Invested money this past summer into young quality players that would give them some depth and hopefully give them that push to make that run in Bundesliga. So far, it hasn't looked that way this season. And yet again, getting beat down in Munich. But like I said about Bayern in Champions League, really want to see what Bayern's Inter manager right now, Hans Flick, can do with this team. They've looked better since he's been running the show. All right, next up on my mind, guys, we have to discuss the matchup of the week in the Premier League. We had Liverpool versus Man City, the class of Premier League over the last 3 seasons. And early implications of the Prem title on the line here for both these clubs. But this year, Liverpool have definitely looked like the better team as they had the 8-point advantage on Manchester City. And Manchester City don't look like the same Manchester City that we've seen over the past couple of years. But all that was thrown out the window because it was Liverpool versus City here. Didn't matter what happened before, it mattered what happened on the pitch. And when you see both these teams match up, you know it's going to be a tactical chess match. And that's what we got there. Klopp and Guardiola are some of the best managers we have in today's game, and they would go at it tactically wise. But Liverpool's ability to press Man City's build from the back was the difference. Both teams would do similar things, but Liverpool would line up in the 4-3-3 in the high press, blocking all passing lanes for Ederson to start the build from the back. And that would be the difference, quite frankly, with you. Liverpool would attack from out wide in all 3 of those goals, and Man City just did not have an answer. And Liverpool would win this match 3-1. And be quite frank with you, Liverpool was the better team in this game by far. Man City's inability to defend the wide spaces from Liverpool, Sadio Mane, Robertson, and Jordan Henderson would all take advantage of Man City with their crosses from out wide. Liverpool now have a nice cushion up top in the Premier League race, and it's their prime title to lose. Be quite frank with you guys, they beat the best team in the Premier League, the back-to-back champions in the Premier League, and now they just got to take care of business. But guys, next topic of conversation I want to talk about might be a team that could potentially catch up with Liverpool, and that is Leicester City. Now, although Liverpool did beat them early in October, it was still a pretty tight match, and Leicester's form this season has been brilliant, to be quite frank with you. Brendan Rodgers, in his first full season as manager with Leicester City, has implemented a style with this team, and these guys trust and believe in Brendan Rodgers. And he's done an absolute amazing job with this club. 4 years after shocking the world by winning the Premier League, looks like Leicester City has another opportunity shocking the world yet again. With this heavy possession, attacking from out wide, and when that fails, attacking with the central midfielders, and Jamie Vardy, using him to your advantage. Brendan Rodgers getting the best years out of Jamie Vardy thus far this season. He's been a goal machine this year. And the fact that they got rid of Harry Maguire and everyone forgot about him already. This Leicester City squad is definitely fun to watch. We will see if they can continue this form. It is hard to string together victory after victory in the Premier League. These teams are gunning for you. But to me, quite frankly, and I know Chelsea is tied with them as well, but I think this is the team that can beat Liverpool for the fact that they got Brendan Rodgers, a guy who, let's not forget, was the manager of Liverpool and was so close of winning the first Premier League title with Liverpool. Jamie Vardy has been there and done that as well. I love this Leicester squad. They just got done beating Arsenal this past week, and they did it in convincing style. Let's not forget their 9-0 beatdown on Southampton. I like Leicester City. Don't be surprised if Leicester challenges Liverpool at the end. Alright guys, the last thing that's on my mind in the week that was in European soccer, we have to head back to Italy. And no, there wasn't any racist incidents, thank God, at least that I know of. But we had the clash between Juve and AC Milan. And guys, this rivalry is not what it once was. This used to be the top 2 teams of Italy battling it out for the Scudetti. And the players and the managers have been part of this rivalry, are legendary in Serie A as well. Unfortunately though, for Juve, we obviously know they are the power of Italy, while AC Milan, over the past decade you could say now, have really lost their way. The different managers, the different directions that they have gone, ownership as well. This isn't the same Milan team. This isn't the powerhouse that we are all accustomed to. But this year though, this Milan team does have some young players who are fun and exciting to watch, but yet again, these guys haven't been able to click as a team. And in this match, guys, it would be played in Turin, and records didn't matter here. All that mattered was the 2 teams that were on the pitch. Anything could have happened. And guys, I will tell you this right off the bat, Milan just did not look like a team that was going to upset Juve on this day. Although Juve didn't play to their best capability as well, Milan, they did not look crisp, they did not look clean, they looked uncomfortable at times, they had opportunities, and Donnarumma really saved them quite a bit, but you just had the feeling it wasn't going to be Milan's day to upset Juve. You even had Cristiano Ronaldo not play up to his capabilities, and Sarri subbed him out for the 2nd time this week, something we have never really seen in Ronaldo's career. And the person that would sub on for Ronaldo, Paulo Dybala, would actually get the game-winning goal to give Juve the 3 points. This match would come down to the wire, and Juve would walk away here with the win, a crucial 3 points, because we know Inter right on their tail this year for Scudetti. Alright guys, let's look at each one of the 4 big leagues. Let's look at the standings and the matchups to look forward to after the break. So as of right now in the Premier League, as we all know, Liverpool are sitting comfortably as the leaders of the Premier League with 34 points. But like we mentioned, Leicester is sitting right behind them with Chelsea, tied with Leicester for second place, as both those clubs have 26 points. Don't sleep on either of those teams. Man City have fallen down to 4th place with 25 points. Now for Man City, it's all about staying in the top 4 to get back to Champions League. It's crazy what a year can do. And guys, the surprise, Sheffield United still hanging around in the top 10. They've now cracked into the top 5. They are sitting in 5th place with 17 points. Man, I really want to see how far this Sheffield United team can go, because this is fun to watch, guys. We have a 3-way tie for 10th place with 15 points. That would be Burnley FC, Brighton, and Crystal Palace. Burnley FC cracking the top 10. We'll see if they can stay there. There's Tottenham and Everton, who still cannot find a way to get back in the top 10. Both have 14 points. All right, after the break, guys, the match I want to see in the Premier League is going to be Chelsea versus Man City. These two teams are still in the title race, hopefully. And it'll be interesting to see what this young upstart Frank Lampard Chelsea squad can do against this Man City club that, let's face it, guys, need a big result against Chelsea. So that will be a fun matchup to watch. That will be on November 23rd at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. In Serie A, still a two-headed race with Juventus and Inter. Just a 1-point difference for first place in Serie A. In third place, we have a tie between Lazio and Cagliari, two of the more racist teams in Serie A, but they are sitting in those Champions League spots as we speak. Napoli is still hanging out in 7th place with 19 points. We will see what they can do with the rest of the season, but they're hanging out there in 7th place. Parma have moved up to 8th place with 17 points. Parma have had a couple good results. They're sitting in top 10 right now. Milan still haven't been able to crack the top 10. They're sitting in 14th place with 13 points. And then in last place in the relegation zone, we have to mention this because this team absolutely deserves to sit in the spot. We got Brescia in dead last place of relegation. Man, just sell off Mario Balotelli and sell off Andrea Tonali and go back to Serie B. So after we come back from break, there's going to be some good matches. Obviously, Napoli versus Milan, two teams that are struggling, that need points. That should be a fun game to watch. A little desperation gets the best out of teams. But the match I want to watch, guys, is Juve versus Atalanta, the cardiac boys from Bergamo, facing off against Juve. If we remember last year, Atalanta had Juve's number. We will see if Atalanta at home in the Stadio Letti can steal some points from Juve. I will keep an eye on that. That match will be on November 23rd, a 9 a.m. kickoff Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be fun, guys. That Bayern and Dortmund game changed some things up in the standings, but Bayern are tied in 2nd place with RB Leipzig and Freiburg. A surprise in Bundesliga this season. Those three are tied for 2nd place, while in 1st place is the real surprise in Bundesliga. We have Borussia Mönchengladbach, who are 4 points ahead of all three of those clubs and are sitting in 1st place. Can Borussia Mönchengladbach make a run and win Bundesliga? That might have to be another topic for the next episode, because this would be a little shock here in Bundesliga. They just beat my Werder Bremen in Bundesliga too. Dortmund, after that loss, have fallen out to 6th place. They have 19 points. Bundesliga is dishing up some good matches when we come back from break as well. Wolfsburg versus Eintracht, Werder versus Schalke, Leverkusen versus Freiburg. But the match I'm going to keep my eye out for, it's going to be Leverkusen versus Freiburg. Leverkusen is no rollover of a matchup. And for Freiburg, let's see how real they really are. That's definitely going to be the game I'm keeping my eye out for. Alright, in La Liga, not much changes as well. We still got Barca 1, Real Madrid 2, with Atletico Madrid and Sevilla still tied in 3rd place, battling that 3rd place out. Real Sociedad still right behind those two teams. And Getafe is still in the top 10. They're sitting in 7th place with 20 points. Still a little bit of surprise as well. The matchup I'm going to be watching in La Liga is definitely got to be Valencia versus Real Betis. Both teams need some points to move up in the standings. They are in places that they do not want to be. And to be quite frank with you guys, Valencia and Betis are always a good game as well. So I'm going to keep my eye out for that matchup in La Liga. But guys, we have a little break of European soccer now as we are heading into international break. And for myself, it is all about mi pasión, mi obsesión, la selección de Colombia. But I'm not the only one. I know a lot of people are going to keep their eye out on their national team. And international break is always a great time to just take a step back, not stress so much about your club team, and let's just let's have fun. Let's show some pride for your country and enjoy some international friendlies. My Colombia will be facing off against Peru and Ecuador in North Jersey, which I will be at. Damn sure I'm gonna have a nice match day vlog for you guys as well, so keep an eye out for that. But we're gonna have a nice week off of European soccer. We won't have an episode for the next 2 weeks, but guys, what a week that was for sure in European soccer. A lot of excitement, a lot of power shifts in all the leagues, and I'm so excited to see what's gonna happen next. But guys, in the comments below, want to hear from you. You want to talk Champions League? You want to talk Premier League? You want to talk Serie A? You want to talk La Liga, Bundesliga, whatever it is? For Christ's sakes, if you want to talk about the Australian League, let's talk about it, guys. In the comments below, let me know. And of course, I could use your guys' feedback. What do you want from a total soccer show? Let me know in the comments below. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video and checking out this channel. I really appreciate it. We're really trying to grow this channel here, and I can only use your guys' help to grow this out. Help me out by liking this video, subscribing to this channel, hitting the bell button for notifications, and sharing this video as well as the channel. Guys, if you want to reach me on other platforms as well, definitely check me out on Twitter and Instagram. Follow me on both platforms. At Twitter, it is at Parcero Philly. And on Instagram, it is LEL_Parcero, PARCERO_Philly. But until next time, mi gente, I will catch you later.